pumping some water up from below using my generator and a 1/2 horsepower portable pump from Home Depot. Appears to be working alright. I changed the suction line to a heavier hose. That made a huge difference. This is a 150-foot hose, so I'd say at 200 to 250 I could move around and get up where I need to go. I heard the loons, but they probably heard me and took off. Tim Buckingham's doing a ton of work down there, making a parking spot down below. Staging area for gravel, I guess. Okay, Tim Buckingham tore up a bunch of stumps, and I don't know if I need to come back and get a bigger tract, something to dig the soil up better, or what. But I think we've cleared the side of the trees that had to come down. I'm hoping the ones that are left up there can stay. Those maples look a little weak, but I hope they're alright. And I don't know if the stress of the place will, stress of construction will hurt some of these trees too, probably. But anyway, I put some white marks where Danny and Janet squared up my guesstimate for where the camp should go. These would be the corners of the porch, and that's sort of a parking area, that mud hole with piles of stuff to burn in the middle of it, and the driveway goes down to the road. Over here in this cleared area down below there, it's kind of hard to see probably, is the septic. Now I got, at least where we sited it now, one corner's kind of down the hill, which kind of worries me a little bit. And if I walk on the other side of this big old mess with stumps and trees and whatnot, turns out the person who was aggressively posting this land doesn't own it. It was posted by North Country Properties, because down by the road they own. On this side of the road, down by the road, the piece of, I think it's lot 56, is theirs, but this is 81, and so this is owned by the CFO from Brutt, and I'm guessing he's a nice guy. If he's a nice guy, he probably doesn't mind if we walk on it. And there's one heck of a nice spot here. So that means we're kind of backed up to parkland, and the owner's a decent guy, which just makes it less stressful. We're going to be 15 foot from the property line. Alright, well, walking over here, can sort of look down. There's sort of a spot for a path going over to this big rock. I'll get down to the path level, I guess. Hippity hop. And sort of hoping we could walk next to this rock. Put some handholds, and that wanders down to the lake. Hope that works out. Now there's this big old boulder, and this tree grew around it. That boulder's been there a while, I think, because that tree, the roots of that tree go around that boulder. And the only problem is, that tree's deader than a doornail. So at some point I might need to cut that down and roll that rock and see where it lands. I left some of these short stumps up on the cliff here to catch stuff in case stuff goes rolling. But eventually we'll get rid of those. Alright, let's walk down the road. We'll go past Kabinski's driveway. There's the road from the original camp. There's Cabin's driveway, or as it says here, Kabinski's cabin, even though it's Cabin. And we'll just mosey on down here. A bit of a swamp off to the right. Most of it's New York State land. And here's what I think I thought was Terry Tiss's now, but it was owned by Blevins. I don't know if it's still Blevins. And those trees get high. Anyway, here's the corner stake for Dwyer gun. It says Moncrief. So he posted this. It's about 3 feet from an old pin. And if we walk down the road, there's a little spot here you can park on the right. Not exactly a great parking spot, but seemed to work for me this week. Here's the TIS signs. They own a little sliver, but somewhere back in here is New York State's too. More posted signs. Oh my, some woodpecker up there. I don't know if you can see that Forest Preserve sign, and he's got posted right in front of it. And that kind of makes sense. That's sort of the state line in this little sliver here. TIS. Yeah, I think this falls under the rest of lot 80, which TIS owns the rest of lot 80. Whereas over there is one of the 50s, I forget. 55 is a forest preserve. Lot 80 ends at the northeast corner of my property. There's a pin. Iron pipe found. Now, North Country Properties, which I guess the TIS's has it posted, but it's actually not their property. That sign's is actually on lot 81, which is owned by Brust. Basically, to the right of where I'm pointing is owned by TIS, and to the left is Brust. And if we get to the pin here and look up the hill, to the right is owned by Brust, because that's lot 81, which TIS doesn't own anything of. And the left is owned by Dwyer and Gunn. And if I walk back down out of the woods a bit and look at this big old mess, I got a big parking area off to the side. Probably space for a car, maybe two in a pinch. Paul made me a beautiful hat. Paul and Rachel Corey designed a beautiful sign, but that's for the inside. For the outside here by the road, Janet hand-lettered one, just so people know where we are.